will be garnered from these deliberations will prove very invaluable asset that will shape our collective path for our future. In this time of crisis, it is very imperative that we acknowledge the significant toll that has been borne by every Ghanaian, particularly the poor, from severe currency depreciation to hyperinflation, from haircut to steep tax increases, from rising inflation, from rising fuel costs to rising electricity prices, and very increasing interest rates. Fellow countrymen and women, the economic crisis isn't over. Indeed, the full length of our current crisis is still unraveling by the day. The situation requires significant sacrifice from all of us to stem the bleeding and place our economy back on the right trajectory. I'm pleased to note that His Excellency the President has taken the lead and has given the strongest signal to our commitment to sacrifice. In furtherance to his commitment, we have streamlined and realigned the size of government, evidenced by the reduction of ministers of state to 60 from the initial 123 and later to 88 ministers. We have followed. We have also followed with significant budget cuts that will be announced soon for the Office of the President and further prohibition of the first-class travels by all government officials. Mr. Chair.
The cost of living has skyrocketed to unbearable levels, leaving families grappling with the inability to afford even the most basic necessities. At the same time, inflation erodes the value of wages and savings, pushing many into a cycle of poverty. Meanwhile, the ill-considered collapse of indigenous banks significantly reduced indigenous presence in Ghana's financial and banking space and led to massive job losses. For too long, Ghana has been plagued by short-term decision-making that prioritizes political expediency over long-term stability. We refuse to accept this as Ghana's reality. We reject the notion that economic hardship must be our norm. We refuse to surrender to the forces of stagnation and decline. We are gathered here today because we believe in Ghana's ability to rise again. We are gathered here to reclaim our country's economic strength and emerge as a beacon of progress on the African continent, not only a beacon of democracy, but a beacon of economic prosperity. This dialogue here today must serve as that turning point, a forum where we move beyond diagnosing the problems and instead implement concrete, pragmatic solutions to reposition Ghana on a path of sustainable growth. As President, I am committed to ensuring that the lessons learned from this crisis will shape the decisions we make in the years ahead. The mistakes of the past must not define our future, and I vow to do everything in my power to steer this nation towards a brighter and more prosperous path. My fellow citizens, I know that the road to economic recovery will be challenging, but we must not relent in our quest to rebuild the Ghana we all want for the sake of our children and our children's children. We owe it to ourselves, our children, and our country to rebuild an economy that is resilient, that is sustainable and capable of delivering real opportunities for every citizen. My priority as President is to restore macroeconomic stability. We must enforce responsible public financial management and ensure fiscal discipline at all levels of government while working to reduce hardships for our people. Under my leadership, the Bank of Ghana's independence will be safeguarded to implement prudent monetary policies that curb inflation, that stabilize our currency, and rebuilds our foreign reserves.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you, does it make sense to scrap e-levy and betting tax and replace them with new taxes on the telecommunication industry? They are bringing back VAT on telecommunication. They are increasing the growth and sustainability levy on the mining industry. And they are bringing back VAT on the financial services and real estate industries. Wow. All these taxes will be passed on to customers, to the Ghanaian people. The people of Ghana should wait for the deception of the NDC government when they present the 2025 budget. Sakawa. Taxes galore. Sakawa. This is how they intend to tax Ghanaians to collect their target of 200 billion Ghana cedis in tax revenues this year. This NDC government accused us, the MPP administration, of overtaxing the people of Ghana, because by the end of 2024, the MPP administration collected 152.9 billion Ghana cedis, and that was 17% tax to GDP ratio, taking it from President Mohammed's 13% in 2016. How do you then turn around to expect to collect 200 billion Ghana cedis in an economy you call a broken economy? Ladies and gentlemen, we, the mighty minority, will join the people of Ghana to resist any attempt to smuggle in new taxes or increase existing taxes. Energy sector. The government's handling of the power situation has increased uncertainty about economic growth prospects this year. The promise by the president in his address to the nation to fix the current doomsday cannot be different from those he made during the 4 years of doomsday endured by Ghanaians between the end of 2020.
And now your brother March Obenem Bosomino, the die toso and nine, ewa fimpi mienuni eduno enomo. 4th day of March 2025. Na edu brother nyumreseya na ya tase na Adwenkyere wedi ne brewo ewo Kessben television so wenya multi TV decoder so ye sign ewo DSTV channel 364 Go TV channel 121 Facebook live bia no ho a with me etie na ne atoto adwen we amanya senwedi friend Adwenkyere ye ka bia ne ma akwan na so akere wadwen ifiri sa abere kobo nondu ene mentra ne won sempi ya de ebrewo midin Wofa Kofi Appiah malami ya de bom chidom na ne de abro na ye won sempi ka amampani John Dramani ma state of the nation address kwa echi no enura national economic dialogue omo hyase enura enene omo aka ensempi e de afa kwane a wohidi eso wo se fa so ne pempam Ghana man sikasemo na enura nso na ekweketoa eye NPP marashabujafo ombusu shia centralfo enom chese state of the nation address a omampani ko kan marashabujam enano ya wada no enye sa pa na Ghana omde ne hyane sanete enu nti omo nso bechirim ama Ghana fo so mriyomo Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam ya kare no yesoafo a oyo man sikasem so na kasa ye na ochire mu senka NDC abanye bibi enyu aye a kani se ose wo mudin na dollar ya ejina ene bondholder sika yetua nyina ye omo sika ompeto ho ena omo ede etue no kre ana se enya no kre nya bre na mampani mahama so asem wa waka se Ghana mesika asem ne omba ye no atete apansam kra asai kra nanso ogidi wa rehyimu se Ghana fo beta de chi wetima hyase aye nhye pa beboa mesika asem no tuma gina na de yedi ne nkoso so abre oman ena den so mrashabojafo kwa asetena ema state of the nation address no said emra ne tie no mampani be kan wi a na wo se mrashabojafo nya kwan na omubobo ho ne omo hyase no na enya asemputo akra de mu nsem ebebro era gift your worry no a deputy director ma national service secretariat e be todwa say ghost names si abaye hwimu afa ho no already dia bomu ama national investigation bureau ye fe NIB kan be NI4 hwe no ene ofuri amanone abedru ewuyemsi gina be ona hwe no ewo television no so ba airport onamu boko akofie be NI4 omo afre no na se omo ne won senkan efri kire kro no ena ebetimu nsamti ose wa nwane yanko ba bia okoje na home abato na chi ena wate sa asiminti waba na hwemu bi e wosa ba mu mpenufo ye no ono so aye kra da so beboa ama ne nyina so etimi akoso afeyensa se efri Ghana me marashabje fiemu and then a state of the nation address no omo sha ase se omo ebobo ho na nana Dr. Ayiwa Afriye ya oye MPP Mrashabedwani mo manfo afidi asas kore odi atodwa se MPP fo omaye ade pa na NDC fo be pa omochewo ewon semu a omo ede atodwa se National Health Insurance ka ede koboa no womo ede bibi to so ye kire se sika no ye gini nyina na ede ko asoe no mu nemum oseba NDC fo so seye no omomra so omo so ntime ye no se de se fatade a omepa ho nchewo yekoti nsem ode tudwa.
Our expectation is that the NHIL is raking in fund of about 11 billion. We would want to know what has been actualized. Then we can know what is the meaning of a shortfall. In our expectation, during the campaign of the NDC, and reference to page 102 of their manifesto, and also the current president, he stated that they are going to uncap the NHIA. Ladies and gentlemen, what uncapping means is this. The previous government made 8 billion last year, but it allocated 6.4 billion to the NHIA. What it means is that government takes some bit of the money from the health fund to support its budget. However, the whole world was made to understand that that concept or practice by the MPP government was inimical. And the campaign by the NDC was they would make all the revenues available to the NHIA. I think that having gone into office, the Minister of Finance sees that it is so difficult to uncap, which means it is so difficult to give all the resource envelope from the health fund to the National Health Insurance Authority. The only way to go about it is to say that there is misuse of resources and also there's a shortfall. It is not true. They are passing the buck. And I want the finance minister to accept and to admit, to apologize to the people of this country that the promise that they made to uncap, they cannot uncap it. And in this budget, we are expecting nothing less than a full allocation of what was received in the health fund to the NHIA. Now, if he says misuse, I disagree with that. You know, finance minister is a very smart young politician, intelligent, and I will not take his words for granted. After saying misuse, it is a statutory allocation, and it is done here in Parliament. Unlike the other state agencies that the Ministry of Finance would approve their budget, we approve NHIA in this Parliament. It's a joint effort of the two parties, or the majority and the minority. So if there is misuse, we have sat here several years to approve their budget. We didn't raise the issue over here. Why would you see misuse when you become a Minister of Finance, when you were a leader of the...
Honorable Nana Dr. Ayiwa Afriye, your FDS Square Mashabini, Emma MPP Amanyuko, or no, and I'll tell so I say, Capen Acts, a Mrebi Abaya CBA, Sky de Get Fund, a Bia This Assembly Common Fund, and I have insurance fund Sicano. Yajivia, young first getting in and commerce and Kwasu, also a bay here Skakakra. It is Cano Binyana Bay, so Kakra, more the Akoboa baby. And I'm not just say, and this Samanyuko Shebo bar. Health insurance can I did and any the common health insurance for so mon fan kwa juma. Now on the omuba, ye free so. Then so, on se finance minister buy or chese that adiano, or me ye, and until me pagana for chows as some more kaino, or munt me emfa and ye juma, and was some ena or tiano. And I'm Rasabija Musudan Yasan Kotokra, okay, say, Bayer now watching Muni, Bram Rasabija for Quasitano. And I omoka sanwa and komo mudi fa pumde yaria hudu be hon and a Dr. Zeneta Rollins or Penda JJ Rollins which I mean fan crazy the baba ni oya clote kolle marshabijani sorry na all kasa no bikaso kawanutum you son of a medra you daughter of a medra sebe producer udifo ba na marshabijafo obi ehun ni pakro kan asasem no ama ni krofo na marshabijafo ni pesu asofo nyina aba se marshabijafo mpeni pakro a o kan sa asem no na yemfa no famra kwa so And then asama sa sorry mrashabedwemu na enya agrokra speaker yesom ko yihimu na wa ka asase no wa yihu adi na beka obone na mama yarga majority leader sa asem no okai etoja no e wonsem oka den ene sese o mani abrepa o mpeni pakra oka asem no fa doctor as in Rollison yeti de honorable mama yarga ekai.
The NHIA faces a shortfall. Our expectation is that the NHIL is raking.
Directed by the Speaker. And I want to assure this House that when we ultimately establish the identity of that person, the full weight of this side of the House will stand firmly behind the Privileges Committee when they seek to exit. So, Speaker, we are indeed very grateful to you. And, Mr. Speaker, I will join you to urge colleagues to be decorous in the way that we conduct ourselves in the chamber. I believe that the investigation that you have launched will definitely unravel the individual who engaged in such a reckless comment. And I also urge whoever it is to own up as directed by the Speaker. And I want to assure this House that when we ultimately establish the identity of that person, the full weight of this side of the House will stand firmly behind the Privileges Committee when they seek to exact the highest penalty of this House. So, Speaker,
right. We honorable Mahama Ayarga, majority leader on the NDC Kessben no any more Rashabedwem. Also the two just say the Macron no who edi ama. Na omo ye hu nipa ono na I'm so Emma Ghana Rashabedwem obi kwa kan assassin che Dr. Rollins enya asekota kra. And then come ye be dey nyina for state of the nation address no any minority response omo so de bae no. Say how we da Ghana so pa ye eka na emene yen. Na eka na di animu nti no se nya sika kra na ya hwe ye hu yi a yentimi mobra na ebra mampani ko mam Rashabedwem na otwetwe mu no o kan say Ghana eka no amene yen na finance minister eden budget beba ama manfo nyina so ehunu de ewo mu se ubu Ghana ye ka ye die nyina etwam o mai sika cities opepepem hanson aduonu baako 721 billion Ghana cedis. IMF for kire say Every afi 2025, koka 2028, yemfie 9, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028 no. Ghana be here sika 709 billion. And they akutua ye kaya de ni ho ensi ho. Inti afi edi kan no 146 billion, neko 154, neko 186, neko 216. The we kana yetua no a afi etwa mu no sika nya Ghana 152 billion. See the 146 kutua ka dia asa adwafo kra hwe ya nya sika ntua nka se ko bobosia eno ade ba ko a ekuyen na who kosam infograph na hwe e television so no said the ekire eno no pacho me hwe ni ye ha from 2025 2026 2027 2025 ye ka ye betua debt servicing obligation 142 billion. 2026 165 billion, 2027 186 billion, and 2028 216 billion. Now we are 2025 142 billion. Last year in 152 billion. Now just you can make 10 billion. Fat intimate trade my for cracker na statutory payment. It just say baby I say sa ko bobo siaba. In the end this am nyeko so buy no every January 10 ebeka February 28, almost Bobosia 66 billion Ghana cedis. But I hear say infograph no so. Ebra edi samanyokoi baye a free January 10 ebeka February 28 bosi oma bono 66.6 billion e je say ade no e ka na da o ti wo pesika ye bibia bosi na abebo they say Ghana ebeko say indeed we internal January de na January na wo hono January February January 10, 17, 24, 31st, February 7, 14, 21, and then 28 the end anyway. So you can in Abu 66.6 billion. Just say, but see, I'm say the bonnet the bed they pass in Bijay. Finance Minister Betchim said, "Na who cause some?" Was supposed to we are or more general. A car MPP for a battle, treasury bill or matono, and a time no so, no more so treasury bill, their kutriaka, no more pekka crash with their check on how far. It was the net borrowing of 7 billion. Yakan in our MPP for a bosia treasury bill or budget. It was now what you be a bad nisika or DBBA. This is a treasury bill, na T bill, na. But I say treasury bill, no interest rate, no air form, and also it was Susan Swa at the Eben Ghana. And the Mampani Kai, the Quicket be Kaye, Sagana, my and Yasa no mu ejayero. And when you come out and then you may Dr. Inoko Champon, a senior lecturer, LK, and we see a common crime based on science and technology. Pomo, or sounds here NPP Amukunu ba Amapa, Wajay Jao has Sarah Frank, Utu a Champon, or also a lecturer, Spiritan University College, or also a NDC Kuba Amapa. And in the form in the name, no more sim kunya, Ibidin Como Enumray. Adwenkyere no February as usual 0551 599 933 0551 599 933 WhatsApp Mr. Enya call and our friend a WhatsApp line which WhatsApp no na dia by bekan amount 0551 599 933 so enye yeah mame enko penifo ne sha si ni go doc mame sha si fro so akwa ba
yeah yo faga
na ho ye de
anyame adom Christ gusu shrai na meye Methodist ni ntino
Christ inti ya adehye that's right monchia no
Christ inti ya adehye ofa befa konya eso na machia obi a waje akonwa ehwe na nwumre na ofa meye babuni se me hu se babunu bi ebi adwuma na o nkwara na o mu eye adwuma na se nka mabunu nyina asua wo mu a nka youth unemployment na geso beti anyume mpese mechia menu abako ye friend no Raymond Buabin
okay
on the CEO Emma Buabin Electricals and Engineering Services e wadanse asokwa na oduru opa na ofa hwe nkwara egu ne hono mo a wo kire wo mo adwuma wo mo a mo awie no mo ye adwuma o menua mechia na ndi Raymond nyumre wo se onene maame ene na wife o munyina o mo ehwe me ndi Raymond mechia nyumre na machia menua Frank ono so de champions
se munyina wo ahene mienu na machia ne
Frank tu
champion for mienu
anyumre mbese oye cool mama because anye bibia no fa we say my impact on the life mo
sao
my contribute on the life mo nti o say anyumre oye di na di nkomo no mo nya ndisi fo no so ma ne bi anyumre ai enti na de meka kakra ro
okay that's it doc Uncle Frank
over
akaba
body adom me ho ye finance e
nyame dia che
good over me so say de me nua champo kan ye no ma me fa kwanya isu na sabi atitiri ne nintin bia na mo futu so ene omo nkran ahye so nti yeso e bedu bepe so say no ye nchia omo ne eni ka ma me nchia me ru abikedu ye Western North party chairman akraba bia wo bia me chia na nyumre na ma chia honorable Johnny Kofi former deputy chief of staff Accra Ochade oni Enoch Nyana Chade Kwame Nkrumah University
post ya chiche minyanti ni din o
e ba nchekura
first time onya bi dia fi onya bi
sa we don't di first time you so ma say the beauty
Accra obi a obi abechia o na ma chia for crew NDC amanyoko manina Santi Dwaben so offer
that's right
ye die mu a me chia Santi Dwaben ba nyina
o nyina so enyumre
me da se offer
right that's it Doc, what shall I say through so? On my penny State of the Nation address. Our kind of no ya wada. No chi and ra or my national economic dialogue running. Now, uti central team, someone can say, is it someone say, a coming Ghana may or say, or manis casem, is a pagan bill revitalizing the economy. Picture man penico pinti nano ya wada no. Say NPP am I, Mabo man say too. Monsignor no pray. What can I say?
Of I may say, of our kai, Yari Namanaka Dumpi. Ohana kai.
Mambeni Mama.
Or can the Yabe?
Is it
2013?
Yeah, thereabouts.
In February.
February, say, okay, February just ended February.
Bra or Mampeni at Tamils Free Moon 2012. Sabrina or no vice president too. Now we are vice president 4 years. Now we now Mampeni makes free moon no be take over. Now you to about 2012 we near. I had a call quarter or bar parliament. Ebe deliver the State of the Nation address. I think 13 February 2013. And we in parliament can say they say Ghana sika semono. Ya we sikano namni nyina manaka dompe. Into omane moya boso na afi no no John Dramani Mahama obetoto neoma. O kan say mu 2013 o indict president ana oteso no ye ne vice class chese ne omonna anye wo madwuma yi ana ofa meboa Mahama ne omampani Mahama ne kan 2013 no wa kan bida nti we so obeka ono ane president Mills kro fa no e ma ne be ye ne president kra no President Mills free mu a ono wo baaye no ne first State of the Nation address okoka asase mu di gu President Mills animu ase say President Mills aban awe nam ni nyina
o say yawe nyina
one hwan nya President Mills na ye president no no ye vice na afi no no wa ba obesa abema nam aba ho 4 years ni mu no ye wie yoma ayi Wofa Kofi ye da sumu 4 years ono no se Mills ma we nam amna ka dompe no oba be ye ni ye da sumu 4 years ye wi ase hu youth and unemployment and ekoso okrum ha sa ne o mani nyina asiye ono na penso. Now fast forward NPP aba 8 years aso wasa babiu the same person at 2013 or describing a year ne predecessor Professor Mills aban so ma we na ma na kadompe and they wasa babiu describing an Akufuado aban a we free ho say a year the country was criminally handled or managed. Na Ghana is a crime scene.
Yeah.
The ayo nwanwa me aya me nwanwa mama nipa no track record. Ono ana ban no vice president Kradru baby no. This was the description of the man. And this is as what describe NPP. Say NPP and manage economy ni ya based on the track record ni nsema okano 2013 ti memi momu de enya me nwanwa. Bafa ade ba kwa omampani Mahama on say obo amount NDC within 2 months or ma borrow no na frank ye machine no be wanim on tiase State of the Nation address on say no de wan ka ho asem all can say on my no at the car economy ninja no within 2 months what borrow 67 or so billion Ghana cedis. Meanwhile o ban na ban all kona ye budget etwesika edi ato from January to March. Enti nia obeye bia no everything is catered for under that budget ana meboa. Enti busa ho say sa 67 billion now within 2 months. Omako market, domestic market, ako borrow say sika no. Omo de ye dey because mobile ye mu amon prepare mo budget. Budget aban na eko prepare de to ho no. Sa budget na mu use. Now within 2 months, what me hwenyame anim economy na wo se enye no. Economy na wo se enye apro atente apansam no. What me hwenyame anim within 2 months. Abobesia 67 billion. O pepepe me ma me afia da kwa wo hwe me. Wa danse abo number 2. Sika we wuntimi modin. Wofa Kofi so atin komo na se o.
Ba so mo de abuja no de. Omo kire se mo na mo ja kana to.
Ofa
ama se magije T bills na ma interest so amutua no so. Eno na se T bill na 3 months ne so 6 months so just some call treasury market crow na makoji you say the kana mo boy ntino Ghana bent me call Europe bond market in Kopesika I want the other interest no from kakra
ofa omo e free abemu 2017 e ka say no omusu jai
omuja 122 billion and amomo de cost 721 billion
and as you see within 2 months omo de say na abeka ho oh ofa ye din komo
I saw the Kawase.
Ye de bi of a son and common bed within 2 months.
Or my Bobosia 66.7 billion.
So let's run it up.
Almost say on what
a ye can't of a can or mabo of
a net borrowing here 7 billion. That's what they're saying.
A ye cat, waboka, and T baby or Akoboka nature and uncle to Yabakana. Waboka, robbing Paul to pay Peter, whatever statement I'm working, and to Aqua Jessica of a Kufio. Now, what the franc ka 70 billion. Now, Kwaji of a Kufisika 67 billion. Now, the comma franca.
Say what Canada.
Now, the walk of Abanus into Koya now by a can dear Hena in dear can. Would you ever come of a Jaimomi and Cano Crenchilom? Say, no one on Modisicanico Trianica because budget be beer or hodada. Now, and no, and extra when this also Okas answer Muninano. And yet, Dr. Gideon Boakon could raise this issue, yeah. And also, Mamoso.
No, call Bank of Ghana website information.
Now, I didn't know making State of the Nation address. None of the one can.
Oh, State of the Nation address, dear. Your mamma can't.
There be offer. I did 7 hours. Okay. Also, will be a budget.
It be a budget statement. Now, Cassie Bianca, be a case at force in bar. You expect to say Bosia or Monswaji so far. But Mampeni, the end year.
And yes, I won't come your old bonuses here. Yeah, any of the old canons, so I didn't say, oh, can we be a Cassania Busia for the Ambetu Yeni within 2 months? The Amesumako Jenny, but oh, dear, the Wakawan 67 billion 2 months. Over near he, what Jessicano, what the Canabecaho, what say, oh, my now, me, I dear Bakwa, I was saying DC for a shiny year, not Ghana for winning a shiny year's offer. Say a case baby a crime scene I had.
How they say Mumuyesim be alcohol. Yeah,
into your mouth will be
alcohol. Be a crack.
And they say on mine munin a crime scene. Wouldn't the implication? And on a young Omoncho imagining our soul. Foreign investors.
Almost said Hanye Mubiema.
You see, the long effect, the long-term effect, as a statement in Ibenyano, a da on the economy. Because so describing the whole country, say Ghana is now a crime scene. What it means, they say, now foreign investors, no, president or say on mine swanka say catch them say on mine no a crime scene. And so do you seek a bar, you do it at your own risk. And I'm a wa. But among for my junior con what junior say oh discredited a binary tremuno. But they say on out here commune. When the BBA, the back stops with you. And it's why you want to say, Obe make it this description. You're ready. A baker crowd for me with government burying. After you person foreign investors they ban. Then they will refer you to all earlier statement. I will make you say the country is a crime scene. And at what point? And I'll bet me I say okay, say there. What me a forensic audit BBA. And to say the Ghana any crime scene view when you was now 4 years now so now foreign investors be a then yeni I want man money a bebre. I expect minuano or monunya direct benefit. Says Sassimo your man penny kind yen be concerned because of her so describe it on mine say a crime scene gone where the days are not yeni internet. Na ye need access to other countries any information BBC no Sky News na adi nyina bo say some of these things na ebeye running way BBC Africa no ma pick na we ma pick enti ubo say beduru baabi no say obi wo sika bi no fey opese obe invest na nke bi ode beba be adwuma ama mabuna nya adwuma ya o man pani oti akonwa so no edi nkan describe say o man no eye crime scene. Into once have investors no more share other African countries. Into once say a baby asieno na o mine ankasa na day ebebre na me nya me nwanwa dompe omo we dompe no Omufra konwam 2013 na aka dompe. Ofra konwam no na dompe no kra dompe de ehyem no ofa omka ne se wotwim. Ayi fite bi no. Aha. Omufra konwam no echim no kra ma we na aka se obeta fro nsa ho. Eno wasa ma back eno obeka we. Enti de anya me nwanwa. Be de me bisa ne se Kessben ato forcing. Se ka se yankobo besian fa metua bosian kwanti. Ena oba ya ene woni any business in government. Because you claim say the past government na anye ne nyoma yi. Omo NPP for abo besian omo antoto ne nyoma yi omo antimi ahwe sika sem so bibia apansam. Over. Na 2 months obo ka 67 billion na 84 years no over multiply mami. They divide by 2 67 they divide by 2 mami over. Oh, be more me Frank Boami
33.5
billion divided by 2. I say 33 billion.
0.5,
yeah. That is 1 month. On the average. No, there be 12. That is 48. 48 months. Which is 4 years. Of Ebenya say
1.6 trillion.
One when cry on the average say omuka so omo be cut this speed a car omo de beba within 4 years.
Say omo bobosia 66 billion
within 2 months.
Within 2 months no 721 billion that no. Emu be 60 billion. And omo de akotua nti e reduce sa figure no. But what I say the stock no 721. And na emu 60 billion time so. And ma bobosia 67 billion. Tim the 60 no kote 721 no so. So na baba say bia 600 and
of us our mathematics we are wrong because 67 our bonus so no say bosia.
No, me tell say enye new e ka e be Canada no ho. E kotua dada no bi.
But what is the net effect?
So the net effect is that I buy the $7 billion, 7 billion cedis, and I can 721.
Now 60 now, boy and no way.
And no be a for from by
in the long run of a debt.
That 60 billion.
In the long run, sa canon 60 billion or macobono so be kan
I 7 billion never Canada. Look, this is simple mathematics. But they can 721.
So I'm on the same
721 billion. A car, the emphasis with the job. And the 60 billion time so. And no macobo bosia 67 billion.
Yeah, the chair one.
It me bow, me ba, nyabotre. The 67 billion no be can be 788. And normally a 60 billion to other than 23 more, beba 728. That is almost 7 billion I think. That's what they also say.
Okay, and you do honor more. And they said we'll be able to me Bobusiana, they are could say, when one year they are second woman.
Okay, but my Musa was hard way. I idea moment the ball and this search pa. Okay, 2016. Mose borrowing. Just say Kabusi and Kwa. Nika say Slausu Kai say a Bobusia de your mind Kwa dia. Go on the background when you're 18 years with me Bugana mine. Na can be 122 billion. And a moment there could be 721. Do you have something to show? Sabosia de Yaji, but when you dear ya, dear kind of course,
oh, afa. So I see a course angle now here name you. Because you see, when we talk of development, yeah, there will be a friend of core values of development, and I don't want him to do propaganda with it today. Core values of development. One of the key core values is what we call sustenance.
Okay.
Under sustenance, we have human development. And it's all share human development. One of the key components is education. Sometimes the benefit of education in terms of physical structures near you. But when you invest in human capital, you may not value it now.
Okay.
But years to come, then when it comes to monumental project, people say it. In the explanation of poverty, some of these things, you say development, and whatever you consider to be monumental, offer a contextual and relative. Intimate kumasi hey. So kase MPP, a DNA MPP beti mi aya obia ebia na ote ginyasi na ne kwan ye ye mana no matter ne obeka no 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 hu
Okay.
Oba mi krom adanse abo number 2 ebia ma mi bi wo ho no mo a ni fie na krachi ni ma hoda se ne betimi ko school no nyamfaso a no matter ne obeka se wokọ krobiti se ebia mvan se nkonsa na nyankomase a offer omo kwan since onyankopon ba ade na omu hu asphalt da ba se wote ha na ohunu se woka se onye hwe ba wokọ ho no mo abohunu se ono no hunu se wei ene mfaso a yenya. Okay. When it comes to development, any project a relative and contextual, depending on where you are. Of us, depending on where you are, and I'll be say way and when you're so faso. Into what you can say a day and a age pa on all any baby a home. Of us, what in common I say, Mimi Krum, Ube Jina dance here, so Kana Busa say MPP by 8 years, a day and a munya. You can count the number of human development across in terms of education access.
Right.
Uko judiciary yet anye bibia na unya court case cry you have to travel miles to Fomana. But almost district court. Enti se wo ti Kumasi no obi ti ho no mo a o mention sa project na beka se na no na ye de but eno na ye ono ne impactful project. So and all these things were scattered around the country. Enti for me se obisamia these are some of the things on anywhere I will be to me on sa akabibi. But bisa say within 2 months 7 billion. Let me agree with even your point, you know. Say even the net effect is 7 billion. 2 months, no. A day and 7 billion now. You ask yourself, say 7 billion pa. A day no more day. Let us assume without admitting.
Okay.
2 months. Waboka 7 billion, but me I still maintain say it's 67 billion.
Okay. But I say, Doctor, Kachampo and what's in Kano, Okasa Edema, New Patriotic Party, and Uncle Franco to Champo, na NDC, Minty, the also a Eka.
Over.
I go to
Over.
Almost the Umberkaini, no. Foundation motto, and I'm mobile BBA. So, as long as I'm saying, I'm buying, I'll be beer, I need one.
Over. Me said the Union no Kokasa was so diplomatic. No, me pese or also be very, very, very diplomatic. Na mo flu kama to say the me ye din ma bibia course no. Offer say Kokasa ya bobosia 66 billion. Na uchire ni mu nchirimu a wodi ma ne nyina achi no. Per his pedigree minim to oyonim defo ngoma semu. I wasn't quoting idea we say a simple explanation, simple mathematics. I wasn't quoting as but a chinchina or say on Tias dear, and yet in penny forces a banchinya, a jada betcher, at you for enjoy day, a behuno. Now, young say, or say, your papa, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, essay Ghana, a crime scene, on Tiasiana, a bema investors, a bed driver away investors. Where a brasso, say you call it a spade, and not a big spoon. Offer, you're Casse, Ghana now is a crime scene. A young share any mammy and Sabia Mabel Bosso, young nano, Sabian for your niche, and you describe on answer, young trim, near share a bois Ghana, and answer at the Oyonica and a Bratima for no. You heard the banking sector cleanup. Offer, young now yet to Krum Hasi, you who said Sabi, your banking sector no. Baby bien why your perfect banking system. And for that matter, Saban be a crabable bra or share the individuals no staff or banking sector no nipa sabi or musica at that bank ho. Now the Sicano be a day. Amma banks no say no, ye mujuma diena a coffom until they be ye the Sicano banks in now you supervise him strictly, said the Bayer Mujuma Diemono. Ye be instructions to go by. Na etimi ayden I revive the banking sector. Yewra na now the danko kufa do anyesa o se maguno. Or the secretary there 229 point something billion Ghana cedis. O pepepem aduonum kono ne akire e no de gu bank no. Omwa sabi saa dwumadi we mu bo omo yare ebi kowu omo ko ebi konsiedo ebi mu ka dem a omo ntumi ansore biem. Ofa asem we yesi ye no na enya asem de e de ma oman Ghana omakronkron Ghana. Beto so biu ofa ye hwe galamsey. Yewura na nado danko Akufo-Addo ka so ordinary presidency kra be den e beto so e de akon galamsey. Eko wi akire no sabi ono na bamufo mpanimfo bi na ehye kuntu na se ye galamsey no. Enko wi ase na de na si ye yensu a wo man yi mu yenkwaye a mo man yi mu a obo ade adawro ma ode dum oman konkron Ghana no omo se sa kwaye ni nsu ni nyina ai na me no ka se ofa ukokron kitwa ni bi mu a sabi nsu a ode bedware kra no eho odin. As a result ubekoye hospitals yi mu no cardiovascular diseases yare kukudam kasi asabi eni adru e na abobo sabi yekrom nketwa fo omo mote ho edi omudwuma inuane a omo di free kron nketwa mu eba komase krodua mu ni kron kasi mu nyina no sabi ay contaminated adan galamsey adwumadie na no mu di no omo de bibi ye friend cyanide anase mercury ene cancer ase no ana eka nsu no nti sa wonim na sa wonso kodi mu aduane ana wodi nsu no kodi odwuma bia na ede yare sa yare na eden abesrew ofa yenhwe. For the first time in the history of this country, bondholders, ye mamenum ye papa no ma sabi omo okoma humije mu, wo musika omo di akoto ho sabi omo didi ho edi to nduru edi didi omo sabi omo saka omo no kakra no. Na nado danko Akufo-Addo ene ba omi aban de omo saka obo se sika twitwiri de yi mu. Omo de bomu omo de beye de omo de wasa omo sirim. Ye musa wo mo se sika na bondholder sika omo kosre ye no. As a result of domestic debt, what do you call it? Domestic debt restructuring. And no, say Jumano, and as he can almost go boom, a dear imported partner, on between the almost such as says he can yakoji, say near the quay, say near the quay. I'm trying, say IMF conditionality, and for that matter, I was almost years ago at the quay, domestic debt exchange program, no more the quay. Fine. Yaba. Edian ye beto ye ya beto kabu funfunam edian was ye treasury bills aso amount for omudu omusika kototo treasury bills eno no ye oban ni nyina so kese sika nyina so kese ya wode bon oman ho bra no aso was kwanuasa nyina so ye fasika pesika na ye dikotuetu omuka eno nti ede yakobo sorry bosia 67 point something billion ene ye di bia den akotua ehode fonika ama se ye net debt stock no 7 billion per na akoka ho mo ko mu ja ye sen 761 billion Ghana cedis ana ye di mu sen 7 billion na akoka ho enti menua doctor wotena ha na se friend say wo kirekire nsem mu a wadaro ma ba bia onim di akodu no entum futuro ngu nsem nkrofo ani wo so wo kan nyina maje din na mehwe wo. You've been very impactful in my life back in the days Kwame Nkrumah University men to aso wo kan enti wo se me mata agrofo so ye dey edi ho dance here. What I said, no, I'm sociology department. And intino said, no, no, better now say, you man home come here for mining can call a speed and not a big spoon. MPP for you, Nemo, said, yeah, Namoye, and Trono, more package, no crab yepe. And there some of us are here, so I say, Bepam Huntuma, and Tonko Subium. Offer, o mine cry your quain, you John Drummond Mahama, no beginners in peace. Our core Parliament House said your mind city and order to your name. Say ne oko ECG krana e ka twitwiri dia da ECG no sabi ofanya kakuma or the energy sector levy e buy senke beba na yenyina munkane asem a owo ma wenum nyina no abebo ne ho bra. At the end of the day 8 years na mobedi no so nyina no sika e fa esla ni mu ne 45 billion Ghana cedis e ka se e da ECG e 70 billion Ghana cedis and over. I don't know busa ho say me no me no se si edum kania se si ya ye be ma yensa so etietie ma ka say hey ono kwano no waba o de kania dundum na ide asan ba offer anu bi na me ka kira wo say e ka de wo ho no as a result of say e ka na da ho no ntino yintimi nya plant maintenance ni yie eno na de say wentwi ketenkete ne den e ba na yewura John Dramani Mahama o se ade yo etikese a oda wo so da yepa o say this power fluctuation will be a thing of the past in no distant time no. Say dum so ni nyina no etu obetwa waba no aba ne ewom dum so mu from Kwame Nkrumah Prenso yewura Kofo yewura Rollins yewura Mills Mahama mutam nyina no na dum so kakra wo ho ema yewura Kofo kra de o ma asofo ko kosombo so nko mo nkobom pai na menim Say empire boat to me makani abadia. And Elijah Mutam of an end and some empire in the Bini Hone. Dabida. So Elijah Mutam no moya content momufuetra and as of we be moved to be a boy to Musa, yes, empire bon Nunya meaning. Omoko Dabida of Omoko Akusumoko Bompire bat and ye. Until I joined the money Mahabai or Debbie. Idea way I will stop it once and for all. Okokra Ameri power and friends say car power generators at the buy. And no, and from 2017, ebesin nemeno kasai a dia kajinamu ebesine. And this was aba. Nasa plan maintenance was a moye. From time to time, one to me and yet I'm a kasai to the abada ECG. Yura John Dramani Mahama say, Waba, no wabano obesiano once and for all. A tosubu. Okaka obobo no ma sabi dwumadia wo hyehyɛ a friend saying nepono so o de ba dum oman ama na adan afa ne ntuma pafura ebi ne saying ye teacher for a church for ye nyina na ye fa teacher for nsem na ebedu pepen so ya beduri ye nyina ide sabi teacher for dwumadia omudie ne wo makatua eto nsane ani a enhye nkran enti ye wura John Dramani Mahama say ba wa na wa ba ne de on si school foforo bia mreko a on si ba bia teacher for be dai ebetena enka ho uko sabi nkro ketonu bi mu na ba bia teacher for Daniel na area
community day na musie no the tie bebre ntima anya adwuma ne se nkora ne ntimi free achichiri mba na ma fa boarding so anka ho
ofe wo
kwa ya fe no mu se ese ka mo de teachers bungalow ka ho
no kre ofa
community day bebre a ya posu nkora ho classroom ya convert ya mo this is a thought true plan
ofa mpanimfo se sankofa ho yenchi so atiase ya kwotena se ya dwene ho ya hunu se sabi me no me no nyina ya dansefo se school bia ni ho asabi achichiri na okrom school bia Prempeh College wo ho yo poko no wo
so say ya chichi school no okrom
ofa wadaro mami che wadaro ma
no ko se enkwenti
bia
se be ya
nkwara na be ko ho no
nkwara na te wo na chechefo te wo so ya community day na ya see block no keke
bia ni ho bia eno ntini ya dwene ho bia se ya bai ya ma ya toso mienu no school dan bia ni ho asabi be sia yemfa teacher for dan yadan enka ho ya de beka ho etoso bio teacher ni bia obaji atum so wo kosa bi kuroketu ma akodi ne dwuma bia no akokyere ade bia no 20% allowance ya de beka na ketua ho se de be motivate wo mo no mo so tumi anya opepa e de akosa bi kuroketu ma akokyere ade sabi asem de we ho anempe etoso bio yewura John Dramani Mahama ka 24-hour economy ho very splendid program odiba na enyuma kuwa kesia sabi human traffic wo honom no ya no sabi 3 shifts no ya dinchiremu abadada ntinya na mesan be ko 24-hour economy so ya chiremu dada ama atifo nyina no enu nti na ba no omotoma ya overwhelmingly yedi nkunim ama sabi ya nuanom sesi atasitasi aka ho ma omo sori ekra na aye den no etoso biem okan se agroforestry odiba be shemu kena ene me no kase ofa koko bo ya ine peche se ofa wasa se de dwabe yin sei ma sabi ka ho
se do say
ofa ye kra de na ke se be no 60% ba se sei ye hwa numa se de numa si kona ye be 70%
bam be o ha bo no be ko be sei
ofa min sro mi ha manin ke kan yes mi ha manin kan akuafo me mo definite price de but bet ma hover around 60 to 70 million a bag. Charge me mom definite Ghana cedis.
Okay, next week in our budget.
No correct. Me mom definite price. Yes, into no a one akuafo enya sa rehiremu no. Ofa eboye galamsey. Yewura John Dramani Mahama so ba bekum galamsey no. A very interesting program no oba be ye. Ye frɛ bibi broni frɛ bibi Joe fencing a friend is a tracking system. Ye ba aba concession a ɛwɔ hɔ a yetu a friend is a goodie wɔ hɔ nyina no. 1 nsuom yentu agudie no nsuom biem 2 ye forest reserves yentu ewo agudie no ho biem de ye be ya no nie aban na be kra ne excavators akra na aban na be kra ne friends payloaders eno no what training ne drivers said ye be ya omo wo opepa so omo be go into mining no aban na de sa payloader ne be ma aban na de sa excavators ne drivers be dey e be ma na cars na ye de ma no ya fix what is known as a tracking system. Geofencing tracking system den e woka animu enti wo concession na wo yes wo adwuma no coordinates was asase ni so nyina no ya programming sabe ya won kran enti yeyen na de driver ni na excavator ni den e de ama wo ye wadwuma no de ama enti otra wo concession no ko ba bibia se so ko bia na ye tin kran so ye be hu dwuma di a wo ye den udi wo concession ni so nyina na ye wia ba bia ombe process gold no ye mfa nsuo na be wash biem na ko se ye nsuo a e new technology aba ye de ba beboa And now no gold board chairman Yura Samija Vichich Muna and can crash. And it is said you might know na yeba be rolling out to fight the Galamsey. Amma Yinsu and Sua any inquire and say beam Nanso Galamsey and I say small scale mining no because Amasabi or more was a sector in Anosono or more to me.
Now back to the borrowing.
Thank you. Offer.
Dear Namobayama Swati. Offer Bosiana dear. Offer where the bow will call do or bar and no, I don't so bubbles.
Offer borrowing one mechanism. Yeah, buying iron agents or whatever put in place to militate against borrowing and ask or reduce borrowing here. Your friend be import substitution method of what is our deal. I say,
I crown. You better
be and you might be to say, be to say, Yara, Crafra Buchiba, and cocoa from frozen chicken. And you man, Bia, Ghana, your crown boom. A dear sika be rebel unto the piano, your tisica to treat the cockrabiano. A binder saying, your boy and homoding, near decide you money be a ding. Our Ghana has it. A band
a friend of Mahuana.
Offer,
if it's a co screen in in himself, or maybe our cranium may be brain. But I said, what power?
Offer, it is better late than never. It is better late than ever. This present government has been very emphatic on this substitution approach. Yaba. He is very determined. Say wabano ye babe enuma bebria ye kran bia no sabe ye beteso na ya bomodin aye sa numa ni bi Ghana ha sei na eba sa na ye sika ni sam beden e begina brane enu ti ya mabosia kra na pede enya ye bedua ni ye be export bi no ye benya that foreign exchange said ye be ye de beti ye kan so bi twitwi de so. Okay. And no any approach you are John Dramani Mahama say what the ba na ye sika e kana twa ye ho hia no ye tumi de atete sa anuma so fa ma me kwan ka me comment me me bre na so
what the festival me
of a medima no sie no ye wura John Dramani Mahama na nkrofo bi keka se mabuna MPP aban edimrika after 7 December omufa wo mu nyina no wa be yi wo mu di of ye mfa square peg enko round hole mu ena ye wa
square pegs
of a wada mama me nkyere mu kakra. The me person me chane say me nua no kote ha sisi no before see you found adwuma wo Kenya University no or through application or call interview no medicals and a man appointment letter or the go di adwuma na nam say we lose elections nti wo dia ho hare agi nipa na bi mo hokra na ya back date to appointment letter to 2023 meanwhile if I want after 7 December and no na you John Dramani Mahama say there be that e ba say wage bill no why increasing so much so that a better than more minor and to sanko phone in an encofi or apply well they are finding very qualified enough so but my jumana why not we are Ghana ni we Burkina ni
enko ba say be a NDC for kwa
that be offer sabi nyina Ghana for mabunu no nyina ekoto aba no yan hu NDC for mabunu ani yan hu NPP for mabunu. Provided you qualify, you have the qualification to work in that particular organization. You have the opportunity now also what do you do? I know I'm a person. That's all.
Right, that's it. Rafra could to champion Kasama NDC now in Ghana. Doc, your reaction?
With the America crana.
Yeah,
Frank, I can. Someone can not make TV free. Frank, so yes, 5 minutes. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, Anna make some me become tea. Mrs. Oh, Bas studio now back can be say, I don't have appointment. I bet you. And someone can say, Melbuna, you are more DNA. Pair what you are saying. Is it your conclusion? Say Melbuna, you are more than no qualified. Because also say I'm qualifier, no best half hour. No, wait. Is it your conclusion?
No, that is not my conclusion.
Then hold on, let me finish. So why on Sunday I don't come in again. Pair what you are saying, no say, no best. So I'm a qualifier. So the import of your statement is that a mebunu be higher for more qualifier.
Why not?
Into mebuna more shemi. I ye no NDC communicator or THC say. Share. Oh, mammy,
don't do this. No, don't do this.
The okay say go ani backdate.
What you say?
You human say o qualify there.
Why not? Don't get me wrong, Minia.
My mentor. Now, or say import substitution. And some of the doors by me, person me tiba could be from men hacker me jai. Of our and of honorable KTM. Saturday 137. Omo de bill say ko parliament. Na saya de yari yamade ne ma okeka yi. Enka oman no atake decision. No ma jai. NDC MPs sorry TI. This is on record. Until bill no NC the day of light. Now Frank eke kan sem bebre o se cocoa price o mo betum Frank, I think say also update you with what is going on the economic dialogue on the forum. Ato Forsen has said it plainly, and they say nyadia aban betu cocoa price mu. And I want to hear, and I will bet na finance minister name waka on bigger platform economic dialogue forum waka so aban intimi to cocoa price mu. Once what you say if you move to cocoa price mu Ato Forsen tia asem ya nti na make sense bi wa wo keka one hwe ya appointment na beche be abreast with what is happening. Send be ya won cancel contrary to their own penning for eka. Now, or say debt restructuring, actually say a year and call for bond near the nsako boom. No offer. And I may say I can be debt restructuring. Now a year to defer payment. Send your be ya a buying home behind how not going into the future no must spread the payment plan and our family. But so what he now say bondholders seeker abide in nsako buma na chese o debt restructuring on tiase now eno ne ma aban ete the sinking fund aye di bi atua mo ba ye ne bia macho ana ameboa nti Frank say on tiase a go and then get the information. Now the issue about say bank restructuring banking sector cleanup, or say or no theory or proposing say and aban tamusika and found comma banks no supervise mu yebi emma omo gisika na ne ma to Asian eco prison or gisika na mo de ma say on fan ko support bank no e no de ko be bank foforo enti sika na ye de mo de ma no antimi supervise the same thing esian me ya mama no Bank of Ghana say sika na ye de man na wantimi anhwe so ye na aban de ni ko gina court mo ba ye makle no mo clear ni wiye no masan akoma no Bank of Ghana governor. Now I want to put it on record say yengu bangu. That is why we have Consolidated Bank of Ghana CBG anyhow. Customer Ben or say now o save or banks now a consolidate na Frank, I want you to tell me we are on national television. Bank customer Ben and a Consolidated Bank of Ghana now a consolidate offer or see we lose soon savings. I want to challenge you on this because entire platform idea won't ask you menka. Now the issue about offer galamsey.
Now they see
the basis in your say John Mahama declare Ghana as crime scene into a justifiable no ye galamsey. We are in this country offer Kwaku Buahin any Dr. Tony Obin is captured on video omo galamsey site she galamsey is kutupa catcher wo omo say monto aba no ma John Dramani Mahama na oba obemma ye galamsey ye wo John Mahama omampani John Mahama na mbra no candidate or say and he's on tape to have said say oba omo omkoye illegal mining na yechi wo mo a competent court of jurisdiction a convict wo mo or ba grant wo mo amnesty ono ne kan ye onyame ene wote ha no mo. Now finally mo minister Kofi Appiah last week so wote na some kan no parliament say mo ba ya afa na excavators kra eko forest nim
wakasa
o de wo
of all can say
or say forest
no fan correct
forest gas intimi nwere
mu
say ni nyina because of galamsey for but wankasa omo buy ya de e wo dada e na omugu so ye
omo afe no omo ko omo party ko for a omo she omu kutupa say omo ba ombe mo mai galamsey no you see last week on say many capman na be shia wa and he said it say galamsey fight sabre the new kwase de ye politics but wo betana ha wo kasa asimu e be ye kakra. Frank, I am not a prophet, neither am I a seer. But the awuye going into the future, a be kakra me no be shia ha bi obeka kire me say doc mesro e me emfa galamsey nye politics.
But I say Dr. Enoch Champon. Uncle Frank,
over. Minua akan sempi but kakra bi a me pese me chemu no no ye domestic debt exchange program na no wo chire mu no. I think say any minua doctor wadaro ma also check news ni because I can cry my former Chief Justice Ewura Sofia Kufu na meboa omo tu to say anaso omo ye oyekire say aban de nsa kan omo sika nti omo fon sika mo no sa nkyeremu no say wonim dia ene aban sika aban sa wode bo the bondholders no mo sika no ntina ma sa nkyeremu no ba ofa yakọ yanim no yenhwe ofa etoso mienu mpacho odaro ma dia hia na
Adwenkyere now here on Kessben television. So your brother no craba pounds mabe and so was so for Adwenkyere bra 0551599933. So crime sir can mean can enquire him. We or say, please, I would like to ask Dr. Enoch that where was the money Ekufuado said we are sitting on, and he borrowed money up to that amount. And when Dr. Enoch said again that before Nado took over from GM in 2016, that it was only bone. And I would like to ask him that during that bone era, which minister of the NDC had another administration caught with money under his or her bed, Mumini Osman from Wa, which I said, I know now the guy say it is Sikasono, how by the Sikano away. Over good evening, please. I want to find out from President Mahama, is it fair for him to allow his former ministers who were in court for various political corruption charges and scandals to go scot-free without justice? And if it is so, how is he going to expect the recent former government ministers to account to him fairly? Collins, Oyoko Kufudia, and all the way free and so a day a buy. This one, he says, NDC is talking too much and we are watching everything. Okay, so he says, good evening, over. Please ask Finance Minister to convert $200 million housing unit plus $56 million Mau, Formana, and 2 other hospitals plus 2.7 million euros ambulance plus 950 million Puarugu irrigation dam loans they chopped into Ghana cities. And let us see how much billions of Ghana we will get. If he can't do the work, he should stop. He should step down. Because some of us don't have short memories. Mike from Aprade, Kumase. Okay. Good evening, Ofa. Dr. Nokechabo has made fantastic submissions. He has made my day today. Charge on Dr. Ibrahim from Agora. On the way, and so a buyer. Politicians in Ghana are something else, especially the NDC. So nobody should put his or her trust in them. I know that the government is going to disappoint Ghanaians big time because of the way they have started. Kwame from Takwa. Teacher Eric Manso address will be here. President John Mahama is NDC members when they are in opposition. They criticize NPP for high cost of living, such as high fuel price, high spare parts price, and many more. No changes have been made yet. When are the price of those items going to be reduced? Evangelist Abel Kankambodu, aka Teacher Bonti from Asante Achimfuase. Good evening, Wofa Kofi. He should focus on fixing the economy and stop the crime scene syndrome. Big up to Jurassic Committee Chairman Napoku. Okay. John Mensah, organizer of NPP Côte d'Ivoire branch. Mr. President, talk true of Ghanaians. Ghana is not poor. Okay. NDC has nothing good to offer Ghanaians, but we will go back to do so from Jonas of God. So NDC has less number of ministers, but many staffers and committee members. Hence, cost of the nation. By regards to the panelists from Ofa Bijo of Datano Sunafo South. Good evening, Ofa. If President Mahama said Ghana is in highly economic crisis because of the mismanagement of the SY government, is he not speaking the truth? It amazes me when MPP communicator comes out and defend their mismanagement of this country. The results of the 2024 election is the evidence. MPP should shut up and allow Mahama to reign from Alexia, concerned citizen Goso. Tell my church member, MPP man, to stop his explanation because it's NDC MPP style of blaming each other when power changes. Kobe from Asin Praso and all the way free a buy. Yeah. If I'm enjoying the show, watching you live from Adansia Boabo number 2 from Okon. Keep on watching us. Massa, the MPP man doesn't have anything better to tell Ghanaians, so you should stop making noise. You might not crash it from. So, how did they assume? Hey, good evening, Kessben. For now, government can use state fund to build Hajj village and pay part of the traveling to Mecca. Is it good? But Christian cathedral is taboo. My God, I serve. Okay, so me, the God I serve punish everyone. I think that's what he wants to write. Cement price rise up yesterday. Go and check. It's from Joe Mankesim. Okay, good evening, Wofa. Please, the NDC man doesn't have current facts. He should update his facts. It appears he's still doing propaganda. Penny from Accra. Good evening, Wofa. Of course, Dr. Dr. Champon is neither a prophet nor a pastor, but all his submissions are bound to happen. The Nancy man endowed with facts and judicious comments. Doctor, we beseech you to come and lead Adansi Asukwa constituency. Vincent Ejei Dako, a.k.a. Kashmai, Adansi Fumso, and also the area or the Eba, and no. But please tell daughter that I have lost my money. If you can help me to get it back. Oh, Usikaira. Then with then this man should know that President Mahama has his own plans for Ghana. And should know that Mahama is not going to listen to his plans. Okay. Wofa, I am Imosechi from Konongo Praso, Omisco Junction. My greeting to Chairman 24 of Konongo. Wofa, MPP has nothing to say. Tell them to keep quiet and what the vision man. You couldn't pay even your delegate who you employ them in school feeding. What are you saying? NPP, never again. Dr. Champon should stop talking about development in Adansi Asukwa constituency because KT Amon did nothing than Swaska from Anochi Adansi Abuabo number 2 and the free a buyer. Of us still NDC period. Let all employment be done regionally, since some regions contributed massively to the nation's coffers, and the people from that region are sacked now. The winner takes all. Every government must just sack everybody from work, and it must be so. Maybe I'm from where you be. Good evening, Wofa. Tell the doctor that I will help him in his constituency this time. I'm from Adansi Nyankumasi, to be precise. My contact number is I see a friend no the number not buy. So I don't see Nyankumasi. Anyway. Some world. Right. Remember now for second run, Yemra Nemeshasi. Yedika can say a caca no asemo. I made him who said 2 parties in our be a bar. I want to say bano. Na Bosiana or Jigum. They say Ghana cost of living, Utie man peninra, bra national economic dialogue will be an honor. Or say Ghana for what tree pa. Do know it between you Tiana cano. Any 1 week on the Sikasa. Do you would your quad uniano? Or tin Lord friend you be the free being Kakrana, a die Kafi Regina or Tia. A dear boy a ding, cast beer boy and Kania boy a ding, a cash in Tia transport fare, petrol boy a ding, a die cab boy a ding. Na Ghana from Harry Kakra, Nina Egina a tour, ya by G. Sepetro boy de better lord fame. A baby near Quia Fork of Abano, and also boy a ding. Cost of living, no, there be a one no. Na Nina Egina taxes. MDC Bible MPP Abasubo say Omoji tax dodo. Na Enra so tie finance former finance minister Dr. Monami Adama. What I say MPP NDC Abaya Ebe next week Ghana for Mumpe Dadiechi Enche. Na taxes or say about deba. Any I want to buy a so on Yagro. We say one more MPP last year. Omoji 152.9 billion as taxes. NDC so more budget 200 billion this year. Now budget tax and the other say tax on you become home. Yanko T. Dr. Amina which is a you say financial sector 12 year terms of about 17.5 neighbor or to a good year eba. Saturno a bear benino a bema Ghana for who actually more Montia say more can say e-living yet betting tax and Robin Peter to pay Paul. I hear you free her near the 12th front a big so Yahotreba and Yakro. Yanko T. Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, former finance minister in
industry. And they are bringing back VAT on the financial services. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you, does it make sense to scrap e-levy and betting tax and replace them with new taxes on the telecommunication industry? They are bringing back VAT on telecommunication. They are increasing the growth and sustainability levy on the mining industry. And they are bringing back VAT on the financial services and real estate industries. Wow. All these taxes will be passed on to customers, to the Ghanaian people. The people of Ghana should wait for the deception of the NDC government when they present the 2025 budget. Sakawa. Taxes galore. Sakawa. This is how they intend to tax Ghanaians to collect their target of 200 billion Ghana cedis in tax revenues this year. This NDC government accused us, the MPP administration, of overtaxing the people of Ghana, because by the end of 2024, the MPP administration collected 152.9 billion Ghana cedis, and that was 17% tax to GDP ratio, taking it from President Mohammed's 13% in 2016. How do you then turn around to expect to collect 200 billion Ghana cedis in an economy you call a broken economy? Ladies and gentlemen, we, the mighty minority, will join the people of Ghana to resist any attempt to smuggle in new taxes or increase existing taxes.
Right, we a former finance minister Kane so far is Kasem so Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam Nra. The two state on the national address in your kind no or say MPP AJ tour 152.9 billion. NDC so budget 200 billion. So call Bible moi. Ebra Solomon we no. Israel for bobo mhoano. Eko ne ba Rehoboam ho say. Woja de kunu ya kase na to ye konso. Na wabai obama ye kunu mu harana. So kan chechishra Solomon one see asoda this kakoko nyina adura ho. And say see David ahemfie. Nyakopa ka che David say David wakokon muja ka wonsem dodo. Ti me ma won si dan ma me oba e ba bi si dan no. Ti Solomon ba ye no. Asoda o si enya ahemfie o si enti no. Bakosem che say o tax Israel for pa. Or a lot of tax being feared duanan and of the sea Nyakopa so then see ahemfie. Ti o wu na man force e ne ba Rehoboam mu be dia dia. O papa de na na obema kodue no be yedu anamu be hare ne ba no kubusa mpenifu a no metwa Solomon ho asia se de manfo busa me ka ka kire om se me be tete ne ma so ama mko mu hare mo e no ko ne nanfofo no mu ko school anama so no mu nyine ye ho e no nanfo ka kire om se afi kura na be ma mko nua no mu ayeduru se magya de mfia na ebo mu ame me de nyanya kire na bom se e ne se ye wu ne ye ko agoto dear Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam Kenny or say Ghana for Nisu say taxa mo NDC for mo kase MPP de gu Ghana for so no enyagro na mo ba no mo betu mo so mo bejeje tax 200 billion to abobo taxes bi amode ba so na mo se betting tax yi levy yin free ho na mo de a we gu so de ye ko mu bebu o kan say
over me da say wo me to so mi no madam fu bi so chia me o Mr. Jonas, I heard more go so GRE. Okay. Mr. Jonas, baby, I'm really Michelle. TIUT Kessben TV. Over, sir, former finance minister. It will buy no more catcher, yes, sir. Sabi, a 2 hour deba. Edia Abediji, Sabiska, Edia Boma, we home brano. A tramine 2 hour. Menen in Yardring. A convention. Over, sir, Babia or boss, we say, if indeed. And the correct sectors and a honor ye baby to only free there. I don't think said you know suggest and I say all conclude say customers in the baby sofano, meaning in Yardren. One, the extractive industry. You can't the extractive industry of a minimum in him say a baby it a good year free. Gold, oil, any manganese bauxite, normally sa Neomana or my just one fast with over the years, you know, say such industry now this industry no a idea almost see Ghana mining year. Osha agreement or man we cry your oil baby in contract or mining or more this one one. Now Osha I think say 10% as against what 90%. Sika or my money free oil so ne kuma bi. And to say you see and this man you go see aba. Now for the first time you know one ba be yan hye na eto e wo ho no yetumi apagya mu na man na nya so mfa so kese a I don't think say friend is saying beba timamuni no ho akere no meba of our dama me wie no me wie ho na obi atam na bi ma mintia enu nti the extractive industry no I was say oman we strategizing nya sika twitwidie na afro because danger and as a hazard sir or how extractive industry de bre oman we no enye oha oketwa enu nti na so oman no nya so mfa so kase na e de bo oman no ho bra etoso mienu o se real estate ye nyina ye nim real estate omodu ne pempenso oboko ebia bibi te se East Legon oboko baby te se Paraku estate oboko baby omo a sankofo na omo embark on this massive real estate projects no womo no na aban ne se bia de to ne be dey ebefa ho na amaman na nya sa dwumadi ne so emfaso de
but real estate do sit down wie na the tax to so or the tax no ka down ne bo
no the ordinary Ghanaian does not suffer because sabi yin asie hofo no ena ko han sa dan no omo asabi omo di omo ho omo no mape omo ho anya no omo no na ya na omo ko omo ko pe ba bi sa tena be ba bi sa atena nti I don't know sa tax no come omo a indeed they can pay because omo sika sem ye den e wo soro etoso miensa o say telecommunication tax and onto yeba pejam kakra of amunu mi enu nyina di adanse say tax net na was for some time na was say why dey no na ankra bia no so yeden etimi ema ska kakra na yede bo ma no ho bra nyina obi aye calls yenya eti ha obi ase obi akura phone ina okura dem so okura miensa enu ntinu sa dumadie no phone e kura wo no o start list abanu so nya so mfa so kakra
me so problem no so was scrap e-levy obi o send this
sika yes.
Now what the tax not to telecommunications so failure you say the chrono
ofanya the chrono a die ntina mekanisa sika ba ko fa se odaroma ena me cox se na kase bia otu ena agi 200 na ya wo to fuel a o mate e-levy me nso meji sika ya na mekase o mo fa se bi o wo dwaben o fa se ena wo so gi ebia 100 na so o ko school wo to provisions wa san ate mo fa se nso wa nko hisa no na so kwa to provisions wo so ho a sika kro na ya san ate no enti se sika no ya te no san premier san mpacho what ya se this telecom tax no e just na e ba be yo me ye ko ba ko me ni menua kasa e wo ebia kwa da so na wo hwimase a na utie me no anyumre me chia me chiri ba me san no ono se meka se me ni di nkomo sesi ye ya eto a ye beti me no eto atwa age se masan frɛ nipa ye den foforo ansa na sa frɛ ni say to no e bi masan applicable but here's the case e-levy ni betting tax ni sa emission tax na ye se ye ba be ye free ho no ye tax bi a ye nyina ye oppose ana se ye nyina ye si gina ye se dabida baby a wo de to ne fa no de timamuni no ehun hia na do nti no emfa sa to ne ma MPP for we sin kete se da kopim se sa friend saying o mbe frade so no de 11 no mo de beba e ma sabi no obi a ne ho mfa no kro wa mo no eje ayarehwe o mo de private jet ko fa ne buy because of 11 man beto abane bi e ma o mo de 11 no e to buy ye ma Ghana for ho ha o mo ye metete Ghana for we ya ye be propose saying if Ghana for case there be ye bonjo so monte so a ye Rama Hama ye listening president obeti na de also wo ye magana ni ho hare ni bia no obe ye magana ni ho ayede ahara VAT ya se ye dey by I don't know which percentage ye dey by betum but eba Ghana ye value of the tax ye nyina obi adiga obi akọ supermarket obi auto fuel obi aye sei nti kakra na botoa ye nyina no ye de kakra boa o man na say this say MPP for e de o man kasema kodu no ye mpesa e kan bi mbesan be dan eba be ka ho nti ye nyina na modaro magana for ade srede mo ye moa na yenya sika ne mfa moa na 24-hour economy na ye ka no sabe ye de sika kro ya to kro ya no ene de beba Women's Development Bank ye de ba ma ema sabe ho be haram mo dwumadie mu nyina no ye to kro ya ene ye jeje ye de ba be ye sa dwumadie no import substitution approach Ghana for the first time ye ba be dua ye nya ye de betumi adi ni nyina no
se o man be here this said the MPP ba o mo kan no moving the economy from
taxation to production. That is what I'm saying.
It say a big increase in tax revenue. A twice 200 billion there. Let's say still will be relying on taxation.
Sir, of a wadaroma, sir, a twice budget 200 billion. Now at the end of the day, for the first time, you invested SAS can our capital intensive friend say capital project. I didn't fast with Yeba, Yego would be a moon, Yebedua Banchi, Yebedua body, Yebayan Ponchi, Nkokwan Kitinkete, na and no revenue and returns at the brain the next year. No, I so huge. a bit my boy me and Sanko Bosia Bima of a Mediano tum, and I say me subscribe to that. Dan say a few bia near the Bosiambo, near the Cocra, no library, about my wemo. Because Bibia, Papa Bia, baby, near the Sicanayo. And for the first time, say I did 200 billion. Nene, Ghana na ye baby Duyamu, Ghana na e babayan Nesichri, Ghana na babayan coco. Nasa numa ye bayano, and yet the beer consumption, but rather at the Fasudia Ebaba Mino, and Mamma and Yabi at the beer common on it, I could for this in Yabadia. Then I subscribe to that. Into Omania or Mampenia into Sana Mono, never bought Ghana mining in a.
Okay,
Medasi.
Doctor.
Medasi.
Casa.
Me bese me nua me bisa ne say is he confirming said the majority kayen that is exactly what will happen.
They want to be confirmed.
No, but
areas if that is so, then this is the reason why.
Yes, it's not work. Oh,
if the majority the kayen or much I said the
so if
but at least being in parliament, don't say budget and I can say
parliament answer
minority copy. Sometimes they give other consultants copies to look through. To be at the what is but the grapevine in the if statement will follow. Say it is hard.
Yeah, so
now let me move into my submission. I was asking a rhetorical question.
Okay.
Now offer. John Mama say or my name why then. I want you. The same person now say I want you a woman. Then call for what you woman. Mebuno manya adwuma a omu benya sika no matimi di bia hwe omabusua wa hwe wo omanim through the chief of staff actually let us see terminate omu nyina appointment no monko na fie owia wa se atwa no ho abegina simpie so sa ho kire wo maane mu nkofo omu benya adwuma aye no bibi be kona no na sa bi obehwe ni busua ni na wo ma na betena fie ba wo se o maane mu ayedene Ofa omani mu ayedene na se wo se omani mu ayedene fine adwumayefo akatua 2023 aban ema adwumayefo 10% cola 20% increase in base pay cumulatively kambo ma 30% 2024 aban na oman na emu ayedene no Etimima adwumaye for 25% increase in base pay. But eno ugina simpie so ene wonko for kan say abana amone ho modern. 2 months obaya the only thing you could do for workers is 10%. Obi etimi atua 30%, 25% not long ago. Now who buy ya 10%. We are 10 who say or money more than now offer into one no dear or can't some way no I ye asem fofro. Now yen share taxes ya minority led by Honorable Muhammad Amin Yanta Eddie Tude. Ya woman me pesenka mubeko archives mu. Nanka Frank ti he. Munko yi ni videos. Ebra ye introduce e-levy taxes any other taxes na kamo monchire no ono a wati we you see me offer so wa hwa say last year ka galamse asem no I me can wa I place it on record say me person ko mo ko archives mu no mo ko bo me tapes am be afi ha be kan about galamse and I still maintain my position. Sometimes you have to be consistent. Frank T menine hia wa happen ewo democracy so lawyer Ohinijan program so e-levy and same bia ni ho Frank can fa ho about introducing taxes and what studio he is seeking every opportunity to justify the introduction of new taxes but there may make any offer mo share boss NPP introduce and you termed it as nuisance taxes. Nuisance taxes. 1, betting tax. We are expecting it to say a beko. Because no money. Baby, I'm being a music free. And I'm can't say mubitrim. 2 e-levy mo kan se mo betwam. 3 COVID tax e port.
COVID tax mo da soje. You say Oma Bay, yes, but this will be here for us.
Thank you. Because some kind so mo betwam. Because these were nuisance taxes say port. Yes, expect so mo betwa ni nyina. Now, say wo twam a innovation be na wo de beba. Eno ni asem no. Can you think outside the box? Or justify telcos say ye creditor?
Or shall I say free extractive industry?
Oh, maybe shall say free.
Telcos.
The baby or end the na me dey aba ho. Offer. Or say say oye call near tax a ye chen yi levy. Ghana ha na enye call. Ghana ha. Why na enye call? Obi aye call. By yi levy there. And you will be a crown and sending mobile money.
So, my wide in Tasnet.
We are looking. We are looking at the rippling effect.
Incidents, no.
The rippling effect of tax now will be introduced. No. Ain't say e-levy create selective. We make noise about it. Anything I'm person can play on only video, Frank and Kasa video, and I'm person mobile, not any other person. Inti se ubetwa yi levy mu no akofa core tax aba na ya hwe se ye koi ana ye buy or can real estate me position on it. You see say ebia un started say oh ye building project you wouldn't appreciate say ye the tax kototo and you may be so mind you. Some of these construction companies now CC real estate nova ube kombebre na so ana ni produce o cement. Most of them are key shareholders in this cement onwene ho awunhu. Enti ko na ko tax on end product
we are passing on.
Be passing on to the building materials. Enti afei babunu bi ube ka say real estate building the own timinto. But ebia na wanya half plot to be. Na opese ono abo ne sesen. 2 bedroom bi no na busua akoshim. Afi obunsa afi na cement bo skyrocket. Iron rods na ekosoro. Afi obohu se wo se wo ko taxi way. But the ordinary citizen no emom na ekobre. Nti eno nso se ba ye nyina ye betinam. Ye nyina ye behu the effect. Eno kan mining sector. Say almost one person we introduce tax. Which aspect of mining on be taxing? The extractive industry, no. Which specific issue and say activities and I'm be place tax on. And na ye beti, these are all speculations. Eduru ha ye be hu na afi ye hu say NDC for no omo nsem omo kan no wo opposition no anso eno an omo ye e wo government mu a ye nyina ebe hu na media offer enokre ni say ne omo kekan eni say de omo asi ahya ase e bo besia no omo terminating call for appointment no aho kire no ebeba pa because you see ye nyina ye bo mpa say oman ni mu bedwo na obi adwuma a oye no ebekoso because me mitwe say oman ni mojo na sikasem akoyie na bibia akoyie a me ho betome babusua omo hye mase bia me a enam me so omo nso bibi ko oman no omo nso ho beto omo mane omo di ahya ase die Frank se ya na mo bekoso de a enya de say ye wo gidie because the mo kan no opposition no na me kai mo say wo ato forcing contactor Frank Mr. Kai no man say wo sa just wo kan free tertiary education yeah expect say you be hu no budget ni mu
o ma ka say budget ne ba parent bi a ba watua free academic facility no they're going to pay.
You see I feel do say academic facility me betna ha stay me the fees Frank nim me the fees from KNUST Legon you know e betna ha on several occasions I was telling them, say, academic facility user fee is just minute. Because we'll be to school fees 4,000. Ube komna academic facility user fee 300 Ghana. Yes. Onim. But omo insist say there be a full fees no no mu betua. I feel we need power no. They are not, you see, what do you know krum ha oman mu ye be hu ne be sie. Now nia me di sie ni say Frank ti hey. Me no na wa hanti wona me bo din sa. Frank ti hey. Wa ba studio san from saying this opposition. Insuo tono na mu bibia no na mu up to date. Say ye man nkuku bu okura kohwe so okura no onya bi. Enwumere wa betena ha.
Obi so ye.
Me say sempani for hemia.
Omonkai no.
Omonkai Frank na be ye kakra no. Sangofo we mu nyina o ma anya hwea. Ebe ye kakra no frɛ na malam ya frɛ na oma.
Okay.
Enti ba me de me bɔ mpa sɛ o ye minua. Sɛ onya bibi ebe boa o no ankasa.
Right, but that's it. I was for Adwenkyere na wasogo so a wuti na osahwe your Kessben television, so multi TV decoder no also DSTV channel 364, Gold TV channel 12 and Facebook live on so Kessben television ho. Ma me message kakra na emra me hwe national economic dialogue no se bibi free mo aba ama mo ya me kai senchi no no ekọ so e 20 is it 2013 and we so aba sui MPP for boycottoy and running there o matrasia can simpi we be free Nazet Abana. Good evening, Farmer. Asrewa from Sevi Asafo. We are going to suffer under President Mahama's administration. My regards to former Vice President Dr. Laj Mahmoud Baumia and our incoming Western North Regional Chairman Pius Vincent Abaka. Okay. And also Ninkratoya Wade Epaye. And no. Moving on, so the NDC must will tell Mahama to increase cocoa price to 7,000 as promised during the campaign period. Give to Ejewa Banye Sunwai and all the way free a buyer. Good evening, Mr. Host and your panelists. Please, what's the MPP lecturer talking about? All state-owned enterprises have been collapsed by the Baulaya super inconsiderate, super incapable, super incompetent, fraudulent, clueless, wasteful, etc. government. What's he talking about? Ofa, I did not get my savings at GN Bank, so ask him to tell me why I ain't not CBJ account. Please tell him because of their lies and see that's they had followers 37.1 FM. And Mr. Anya 37.2, 41.6. Okay. Dr. Champo is my brother. He knew that KT Amon failed. Oh, I didn't read this message. We were not that type of you. Watching Anka from Jache, we have never had good leaders. Our leaders are corrupt. The best they can do is to borrow for development. Anybody at all can rule Ghana that way. Please, doctor said no customer lost his or her savings when they closed the bank. Please, you should help me get my money. 6,000. I'm Reggie. Bank where Reggie? Also be mono. Good evening, Nanaya from Techimai. And MPP administration very poor than NDC. Let's pray for President. Everything will succeed. Okay. In fact, where is Ghana going? Let's look at Galamsey. All the rivers are polluted. I beg the government and the chiefs of those areas to stop them. I am Daniel Fusu from Wenchi, BR. Hi. Okay. I say hi. Good evening, Kessben TV. I'm watching you live from Prussia. MPP government put Ghanaians in total mess. If they manage the country well, Ghanaians would have voted them out, wouldn't have voted them out of office. The people have given their verdict. I pray that they remain in the position forever. Good evening, Wofa Kofi. Women Development Bank, Ben, NDC, that no Nyante Chua from Ahinema Koko Ben. Good evening, Wofa. Is GACL a private entity? Is it Ghana Airport Company Limited? Okay. Is there a mosque inside a hard village? Will Christians be given equal rights just as the Muslims? Since some people are saying it's just a terminal being constructed by Ghana Airport Company Limited. And if yes, Will I be allowed to eat my pork and take my pitu there, since Muslims and Christians have equal rights over the Hajj village? If it is not good because it's called a national cathedral, it cannot be good today because it is called a Hajj village. And also the area there. I'm here, national economic dialogue. My penisa Mombrani in Nankusian and Totrain, and before sit there be yamma. When you ask me, Konakoka. Ghana, how no say no anymore. Kawan can't Ghana for see the son, sir, which me I and running there, Mushi and more can simply. Ibini se Omaisika someone ye, else ye, a quite a fasoa, a beanie, a candy, Bosian, a toss by way. A beach say, Uti dotata forcia. Or see Ghana, electricity boyading pa. The final free inefficiencies of electricity company of Ghana.
As we embark on this development of our medium-term
losses no be musa no a no mo pushi kan na de abrayen se yentua yenkuti Dr. Kessben atoforsen emra.
We embark on this development of our medium-term plans, commencing with the forthcoming budget on March 11th. The insight, expertise, and experiences will be garnered from these deliberations will prove very invaluable assets that will shape our collective path for our future. In this time of crisis, it is very imperative that we acknowledge the significant toll that has been borne by every Ghanaian, particularly the poor, from severe currency depreciation to hyperinflation, from haircut to steep tax increases, from rising inflation, from rising fuel costs to rising electricity prices, and very increasing interest rates. Fellow countrymen and women, the economic crisis isn't over. Indeed, the full length of our current crisis is still unraveling by the day. The situation requires significant sacrifice from all of us to stem the bleeding and place our economy back on the right trajectory. I'm pleased to note that His Excellency the President has taken the lead and has given the strongest signal to our commitment to sacrifice. In furtherance to his commitment, we have streamlined and realigned the size of government, evidenced by the reduction of ministers of state to 60 from the initial 123 and later to 88 ministers. We have followed. We have also followed with significant budget cuts that will be announced soon for the Office of the President and further prohibition of the first-class travels by all government officials.
Get ready. 1, 2, 3, you are live.
Right, we are the Finance Minister, Dr. Kessben atoforsen. Somebody to you know, or say, Mati ministers so a bicycle or say or a banso from a baba form. A face so Sarah so and what says, Sky the office of the President, a baba form. We don't need maybe a titisano and a boama Ghana who are Harry. Doc, I'm just in fruit so. National Economic Dialogue. I say John Mahama, the first camino, Senchi, Manko. We so Manko be. Bisi Adeng, Ghana now moving who are now say, didn't ya? Mumrani and Toto. Isn't anything going to come out of this? Sergeant Totoi.
Enka, Ubinya, Nanka, baby papa, be free moaba. But any pebia, we bibia, ye share or dachi. Now that is social near what taking decision what taking in the past, near projecting into the future. Na ye enti ohwe daachi se daachi beko ya ohwe ene sabri ene ne yesipen. Enti 2013 omoko senchi akua donko munyina akobi. So kai se maame ne bae no se ehono mo de bibia akọ kama but de one pay se o ma anya bunabunu nkwan kan ho. Na okay se o kodidi kama o ye bibia kama den so ma na bunabunu nkwan anom. Ya ankobi omufri senche bae na eno omko IMF kwaje policy credibility. Obi amosemo ko dialogue ehunu kwan a mobefa so a mode Ghana sikasam ne Ghana ntotoye ebeko omo free senchi bae na atofo na deputy minister of finance at the time of amewa sabre no ɔne sɛtɛkpɛ mu ne kɔ deɛ ɔyɛ ya ɔmo kɔ yɛ bi 2013 no kase ya ɔne ne bɔ sɛtɛkpɛ ɔmo kan bi 2013 ɔmo firi hɔ baa ya na ɔmo ma ɔmo no ɔmo aso na ɔmo kɔ IMF ɛkɔgye policy credibility of a mente brofo policy credibility as yɛne sɛ sɛ mo na mo kan na mpɛ sɛ ɔkyerɛ me mu deɛ ɔmo kan sɛ ɔmo kɔgye mente brofo mebɛ sɛ mo kyerɛ maseɛ na nka meka kyerɛ me maame afia da kɔ a na ɔte aseɛ policy credibility ɛna ɔmo kɔgye ne 2013 na wo se aban NPP aban anyɛ ne nneɛma yie wɔn abɔn potɔɔ ɔmo nim hwee ɔmo nim kwan a yɛfa so manage economy nti yɛnto aba ma wo na wokeka nsɛm to aban ne so a ɛna Ghanafoɔ tie ɛna ɔmo ato aba ama wo ɛna waba na woni solution ɛna na ɔsɛ yɛma ɔmɛdi ɔmampanin no na bɛdi ɔman n'anim no amanyokuo na ɔmo te so a oso pa wɔ ɔmo sɛ ɔmo abɔn ɔmo no ɔmo nkɔɔfoɔ nim kwan a yɛfa so manage economy na ɔmo nim hwee no ɛdɛ na afɛ deɛ wo san bɛfrɛ ɔmo so ɔmo mfɔ ɔmo adwene mmra Wofa Kofi, is it not ironic?
No, said we be na me here no ne say every MPP ba power mo your policy na NDC chain na mo kasetia NDC so your policy na mo so mo kasetia ba se ka mo nyina mo hia de a ɛhɔ no NDC for de ba makase da bi we ye ne se nyi emwa na Jojo no ye hunu di
until say your constitution your best son no ye benya national development plan say ya na be koso
okay
yes ye national development plan backed by law aban bi aba ontimi mfa ne nsanka enkose no na say ya na be ko say ya so na be ko because me meti abam na wuntwa tronto me so ngumani mase nka nkyerem se mabon minim se de esi manage economy na wo na wo betimi aye ne yie na yeto aba ma wa na afi wunhunu ba bi a wo mfa wo se me nsa mra meboa no ye nto to adwene na me wa adwene anka meti aba mu no kan nsam to me so ofa hwe de ekosi ensem a omo kekanti wa wo hwe ensem a omo kekan discussion papa be na ekoso a wa wo hwe a ede ne be firi mu aba eyo man ni sika na se isi nkofo no bebre do so a bi nya appointment ndi o se o ti committee Professor Gachi so kai no UCC no o portray ne hu se o neutral until say NDC manifesto committee omo lanche a omo bo ni din se ona na one of the co-chairs and obi ehu se onye neutral on say economic forum in so saka ho so a chair o se bibi sa most of pa NPP sa de bia you were on TV saying negative things about NPP name managers of the economy then na se maba mo se wo mo na ne mo nkotena ye nko because amoko NPP fo ko na se de omu hunu ne omu yi omu wie na omu beba na anye ye na akoka omu beka se ne mu nyina na ko plan ye ye ma wo nsum ye afidie me ye nkotom mo na mo se mo betimi aye ene ya to aba amamu se ye ni national policy plan development plan I force obi a se wo so obetena table no ho na mo discuss ye ma mo nsum ye afidie ena ye nkotom mo adwene a mo plan ye ne mo manifesto ni mo bibia mo de ye campaign na Ghana for to aba ma mo no mo implement mo nyi ye mfirim ye be play a role as opposition so we ye bibi na nya ye be draw attention enye yen ena mo de ye mo besum ye fidie ni ye ko ka bibi a ofa last one omampani mahama se wate through at forcing was wate ministries ne so okay me ba cho say what say omama otu kon appointment presidential the advisor on agriculture at the office of the presidency e no obeye apart from say your deputy minister of agric na san wo substantive minister of agric say what Rex Oma appointment no presidential staffer in charge of Black Star experience of idea presidential staffer in charge of Black Star experience ede no okoye ede na KOD ni abeku Santana so okoye of outie It is also wakati ministries. Now koye sa Shamima Muslim appointment or koye de ho. Joyce Bawa yede. Felix Ofosu kwachi yede.
Felix Minister for Government Communication.
And was I day. On Oko Flasava on spokesperson in the communicators on Bibriba appointment on Moye. You see, it is just a way to say ministers the young far and to so ministers. But your bemamu positions are relatively equivalent to ministerial positions or deputy ministerial. So what is say confirmed say omote regional presidential staffers.
Regional organizers, no. And more presidential staff.
Of what be that? A way to tell you, say, or more person more appointed deputy regional ministers. But you see, because NPP second term, you create 16 regions, no. Young appointed deputy regional ministers. E being Sigana had that. Say a baby no beka say region be our more presidential staff about a regional coordinator. At the office of the presidency, deputy regional ministers. Na mebua of audio mebua kasa mebua, and they say oko Ghana ha region bia NDC regional organizer, a presidential staffer in charge of the region. UTB wa hen.
Okay, that's it.
UTB wa hen.
Uncle Frank, remember me time.
Of an okre, me that's a P. Now, Minia Enoch, and you may. Dear, what mama do who will be brave. Once a month, what can I find? Let me say, no about an local class.
Are you inviting me into your submission?
Because and are
you inviting
I'm not inviting you. I'm not inviting you. But you see, as I come out here, didn't contribution is swap. The contribution is swap.
It does not lie in your mouth to make that disparaging.
Sorry for if you take offense. Sorry. Right. Offer my main tongue.
You are inviting me.
I'm not inviting you.
As a possible I eat here.
Okay.
You are inviting me.
Yeah. My main to us. Offer them a person making no. That's on a lighter note. Jumedia air course the National Economic Dialogue air course. Jumedia and Kawasa Union on the minority side. You know, you see, though we do not have a substantive national development, what they call it, policy or program, but some of these Jojo and NASA consensus building, a beboa, I'm going forward, no, or minor funding to my perfra. I didn't make us, yes, I didn't back for a trim. Utan China, game no different, and I will be Jina, a group of manaswa, game no day, different. Yaba, Yatuaba, Sabio, Momodin Kugu, Makotan and Chang. Yana, ya did to me, Nasha and Sa, I bet now, I couldn't catch you. Yes, Mumra, you know, you know, my back, Ghana, and the Bini baby, Mungana, we are Ghana for Mumra, Mumfa Marginamra, Naying and Twat to our journey, said ye be ya, one, free SHSR, Modeba, ye bet, oh, Adaroma, and Nabotre, Nametra, of a Crabidia dance, Mancasa. One. Free SHSR, Modia Bar, Yenana was saying, you're sustaining educate anymore. A bit here, Monbini, it became a venture. Now, Sabitimum for the clergy, the business people, civil society, Oming Amra and 5 Genembra, they infant to us. Just the depreciating furniture and currency, yeah, the BIO for me. You be here, the business fraternity, you be here, the industrialists, you be here, the clergy, politicians, Mungina will be on for an day. Embra, the undocumented, going forward, you know. Yeah, apply a baboa momana sabi ejina brane. When intina momra, mo say and some say ugina na woka. Say yema and I am mubesumi afidi. Afide when you sumu, Ghana no wumpo, Ghana no timbi. Timbi crowd abusu for timbi. Into the ebeba, the ebeye bian indirectly or directly no. Offer. There's always a first time. There's always a first time. You're free century by and your policy credibility from IMF. Fine, because of the state of the economy then. Now was say IMF policy credibility. And indeed, your mobile more extended no. So me mobile 2017. Now your IMF conditionalities. Mobile extended no 2019. And one among Bomusa for him say the economy in it was under the conditionalities of what IMF and to corner acquire no subbing for so dear then Ebaso and in there see a samba bill, yes, some union on Mumra, young I met to Adwenkyere, Obia hobby, the former business spare parts dealers no obi amra bi obi afa na adwene mra abamba na obenya ne sei akufo do se bi na daro ma mu ye bi da na penso mu ye bi da mo anye so ho enti yaba ne ye ya mu nyina mo mo ne nyina mfa ya adwene mra because yes se ye hyemra na se wa moa ama ya hyemra na ye be hye na mra na ma no ye hye nso a se bi obedi anaso obedi su bi enu nti no ye se mo mra ma mo ntwe mo hu mfrim because de ye koya ye at the end of the day se nyame ya dom ne ye de babatudwa ne ye de ho popoye no anaso ho sunsuaso ne de bo man ne mu a wo ye MPP ni o wo ye NDC ni o wo ye CPP ni o bamna no bedi so ho enti ebeye se wo do adwenkyere be den ebeba na yesi ya mfa anya dwuma wo gine ba bia kase mo hwe ye nyina ye koye build consensus no o ma mfa anya dwuma ama man ne ye den e na chi de bia no se say ne be ko na dia o man ne be ko na chi because se mote bench ho na mote no mo say reserve players obi na mumu na mo nya den mo nya bi mo enan no so de bi mu ya boy ho papa na enam so what you say ye chichire o man no ye the good policies and programs eba ye de nyuma eba mamabu na nyadwuma ni bia ye de hyehye papa eba ama ye sidi no ebegina brane so what you say me na me ka kiro asema me ka go do opa me so me nya prophet of doom but me ka asema kiro say enne efiri na de kuri from march kuri ubehu sebi oman we no ntuma papa na ye se ya be fafra no ehun popo ya ebe daddy ema ye nyina no sebi ye nyina so ya soma adwoye enti de woto moti akiri na mo kaka ne de enya adwuma enya adwuma what you say
right yeah in the coming days and never sama Ghana the year Ghana ni a wotie yen Ghana ni a wo hwe yen oto abati a MPP a bia ogidi se oman mu ayeden ti no so MPP to aso ti mo so mabai se niema mu go a ombema to aso enema mu anwo a okay say 2016 na NDC for MPP for hurumo pa John 3:16 na munya 44 munya 54 by bat 2024 no DHS timonso mu anyi ne year the tables will continue to turn ma me message in kakra na yen rap up NDC people and propaganda when MPP government was in power they talk as if Ghana is collapsing they came to power in less than they have borrowed more than 60 billion, yet they increased workers' salary by 10%. NDC will do nothing for Ghanaians from Sokoduya inside Mame Krobo and all the way free by. In fact, NDC doesn't respect Christians and they have taken Christians for granted. When NPP was building a National Cathedral, the same NDC were bitterly condemning it, that Ghanaians doesn't have money. But now, they are using Ghanaians tax to build hard village for Muslims. So Muslims are better than Christians from Mr. Jemfi Kumase. Please tell doctor that I have lost, that's what I can do. Okay, Reggie, the Women's World Bank, no? Okay, that's what the message you have about. Good evening, Ofa. NDC condemns it when President Kufuor introduced talk tax. Why now? NDC is justifying it. Pachibe, Jakubu, and what the way free a buyer. Okay, say a friend of Master Planner Junior from Kintampo. It is clear that President Mahama and NDC have nothing new for this country. Ghanaians should not expect anything from this nation's national dialogue. No money for 6 March, but there is money for all the unnecessary dialogues and committees. Regards, Honorable Abanga Yakubu Fuseni. And also dear and away free Dr. Chromosome so Ankase was good Mr. Host, please can you give me the total debt at Amels and then John Muhammad added to our public debt and also Nana and Baumia debt to and let and bro for so person can say me analyzing the noise is too much. Ghana, we don't read the DNA Dr. Chromosomes from Ankase. Ambrachi Dankwa from Yache. Corruption galore. Politicians declare their assets and keep them secretly and keep them with the Auditor General. They don't declare their assets when they leave office. Every Ghanaian is aware that Ghanaians go into politics to get rich quick through illegal wealth. And also, good evening, Ofa. NDC cannot implement any 20% for teachers because E.T. Mensah, during his time as employment minister, signed this MOU but never implemented it. I am Benjamin from Offenso and also the way if you buy right. Me here now in wrap up. I go to final word. Microphone off.
Yeah, Coron, best as a Ghana mining in an Sabi, Epo, Yampo, or Mino, Atwabay, John Dramani Mahama. In Tienfa Comapa, any Adrian Papa, any energy, good energy, and energy. Not in share Pabia or Bonitumo Posso, Baba Boom, Bessom, mine, no man, of to my perfrano. Ingana, Emraso, Ingana, so Sabi, more mino, Yentrum, and Jim. That's your offer.
Doc.
Ofa me ko de me chia me nuanom mienu anoche na o send the message o mi krom aboabo o so wo hwe me na Michael Lentwi ono so adanse fum so so ne yere hwe me de me kan se Frank ya to aba yi mu se mu na mo bu o man no munyai propaganda no na mo nhyehyɛ nuoma na yi ya yi nyina yetimu bi na emo mesre o mampani ne na pamfo mo ya appointment se Frank utu champon bra wa bra mu position ebesi sabre na nkukobu kura mu mani bi se wonhwe so a manhwe ye be ye kakra na ye frɛ na o ma o nti mo mpe baabi mfa ne nhye mate se minuanum bebre se Asante region guys ni bebre akodi nkran se o muntimi mbakuma ase because o mo koye ne ye mo hwe o makoka o
teta ha se me ka to ti so ka ho
right na o mo moa o mo na o munya baabi nhye but se Omanya baby and sha, dear 2 MPP for 2024 no. Ebi betu because they say I beka crowd for or more mumma. And Frank dear me bompa is unya baby because we minua. Now unya baby she right no dear to a mumwa Frank to a champon. No mumpe baby in family.
Right, but I say your father did you see what the doctor champon can electoral KNWC or Sanso a NPP Kuba Amapa. And I feel Frank to a champon. On also electoral Spiritan University, on also a NDC Amapa. Malame and a boy medianoma meeting the Kofi Appiah, and let me see when Yami Adumoa, a brother for a say she will be Yakramo.